And nigga, be real to yourself before you real with anybody else. What's the deal, gang? What's the deal, man? We back with some good crack. You understand me? Y'all go ahead and get that drink. Y'all go ahead and get that caviar, man. And we finna bust down some game. We finna really give they listen. This ain't nothing to glorify, but we're about to acknowledge and recognize who really was doing what they was doing on a high level. And right now, like once again, this is nothing to glorify, but Compton is definitely on the map. When you look at everything that's put in direction, Compton PIRU and the Southside Compton Crips are the ones who were hired to kill two of the biggest superstars in the world. That is history. You see what I'm saying? Before we get into this reaction, we finna bust this game down, though, right? Shout out to everybody that's pulling up in here, man. Hit the like button if you love your mama, baby. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? You got to realize we're talking about the 90s. If you understand the 90s, you can identify multiple family homes. You see what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, you had family aunties and grandmothers watching the kids. You see what I'm saying? Some of us lived in a seven people in one household. You understand what I'm saying? This is how crucial it is. In the 90s, you wasn't making what you was making now. You see what I'm saying? Some of y'all making a good little 22, 23. You understand me? Some of y'all got, no, nigga, I ain't NINABOY. I got them 30 piece. All right, cool. You wouldn't be making that back in the 90s. Absolutely not, nigga. You would not be making that type of shit in the 90s. So let's be clear. The Compton PIRU and the Southside Compton Crips put some gangster shit on the map that made Compton legendary forever. There's no way without it. You cannot sit back and say, Compton ain't on the map. Compton is on the map. Yeah, we got LA, we got all these other cities, but who is responsible for the two murders that happened of the biggest rappers of all time? You see what I'm saying? Compton. So breaking news, man. Let's bust this shit down, man. Listen, they were responsible for Tupac and Biggie's murder. Now, did it go over? Absolutely. You got to realize when we talk about this game, the Compton PIRU and the Southside Compton Crips was really involved with this is because the police had everything to do with this. You smelling what I'm selling? You got to realize if we're going to say, oh, you know, a nigga Poochie from Ludus Park PIRU killed Biggie and, you know, a nigga named Orlando Anderson from Southside Compton killed Tupac, you got to realize Biggie died a little bit after Tupac. They died only, what, a few months apart? The way he died, it was crazy. This was an assassination. You got to realize these two people were some of our biggest leaders. And what happened to our biggest leaders? We see that they get executed. Malcolm, I'm not finna be, come on, man. We can see what happened. Look what they did to the Panthers. Look what they did to the Black Panthers. If y'all know y'all history, you know, last time I was elaborating history, they're like, oh, that nigga NINABOY is smart, man. We didn't know that. I don't got time to be doing all that. Bottom line is this. It's history. This is what Compton did, made history for the rest of everybody's life. It's no way without looking at, damn, Tupac died by a nigga from Compton, and they sent a nigga named Poochie from Ludus Park killed Biggie. You see what I'm saying? Now, these dudes could have been pawns. Yeah, all right, whatever. You see what I'm saying? But we know that they have heavy involvement with what's going on, right? This is it. Everybody didn't damn near die from the 90s. Everybody didn't die. You see what I'm saying? But when you look at the key players, majority of the key players come from Compton. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about, nigga, this goes all the way to the whole death row camp. You know, you got Long Beach, you got Snoop and all that. Oh, that's Dre. That's Dre. Anyway, like I said, appreciate Amanda in the building. What's up with ya, girl? Salute, salute, salute. Hey, bottom line is this. I appreciate every membership, man, because I really grind for this, right? But let's be clear. You got a 28-year-old Suge Knight, you see what I'm saying? A millionaire, a multi-millionaire at 28. He was able to hire off police officers and made them off-duty security guards. Look at that. I need you to understand that. Look how big that is. You're 28 years old and you got motherfucking police on your payroll. That make you a ruthless, vicious monster. You see what I'm saying? Because who's the biggest gang in America? The police. The police is the biggest gang in America. You understand what I'm saying, though? So when we look at this, understand what was accomplished for Compton. Oh man, this is history books. Yeah, you ain't gonna get your star on Hollywood, but to the gangster society, you cannot deny that Compton really put it down. And it was to the point where they was even manipulated to assassinate two of the biggest black icons of our time. You see what I'm saying? Tupac was one of the biggest of the world. You understand what I'm saying? How crucial this is? This right here puts Compton on the map forever. So with that being said, let's jump into this reaction. Y'all hit the like button if you love y'all mama. Hey, y'all know how we coming, man. This is all grind, man. So let's get into it. Let's go. Yeah, we gonna get to Reggie White. Yeah, we gonna get all that, gang. We gonna get to it. Hold on, let's go.
Everybody keep saying they knew Pac better. Pac gonna be a rep. They're like, Pac wearing a red flag, you know what I'm saying? The right pocket, you know, so Pac, I'm on some MO.
I'm not surprised by anything he said because the get down and you should expect the unexpected, expect that.
In the shadows of the glamorous world of 90s hip-hop, two figures loomed larger than life: Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. Their murders, only months apart, sent shockwaves across the music industry and the world. These deaths weren't just the silencing of two iconic voices, they epitomized a larger battle raging within the streets and the very heart of hip-hop. Interestingly, amidst the swirl of accusations, theories, and finger-pointing, a singular entity keeps resurfacing: the Southside CRIPS, a notorious street gang hailing from Compton. Were they just another piece in a convoluted puzzle, or could they be the missing link that binds the stories of Tupac and Biggie's untimely demise?
All right, so
Many have attempted to stitch together the fragments of information.
Let's stop there. So we're speaking about the 90s at this point, right? The 90s, people struggled. We knew it was a very selective amount of people who excelled in the 90s. If that wasn't the case, it was your mama was still living with her mama. You see what I'm saying? Y'all was living with the grandmother. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at it, we talking about back in the day when it's 8 people living in the house and shit. People forget to lock the door. You understand me? Nigga, grandma be on the toilet smoking a cigarette, taking a shit and pissing and shit, and a young nigga walking there, and she's like, "Get your ass out of here!" And he like, "Ugh, it's stinking there." Nigga talk about the grandma, nigga going there, and she smoking cigarette. Remember when grandmas was smoking cigarette in the bathroom? It's because they didn't want nobody to smell their odor. You understand me? And we knew how Granny was. Granny used to wear that long nightgown. You see what I'm saying? And she'd have a coin purse and that little bra that we ain't never seen no. Man, you come think of how many times you seen your granny change that gown? Hey, yeah, grandma being there, nigga, right? Yeah, and nigga, here, go to the store and give me some more cigarettes. This is the 90s. I'm talking about where kids was able to go to the store with a note and say, "Hey, my grandmother want some Newport Longs or 100s or Marlboro Shorts." This is those days. We're talking about the 90s where, you know, a meal was beans and chopped up pork and beans and hot dogs. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about when, you know, you went to the movies, your mama or your grandmother popped some popcorn in a microwave, put it in a clear bag, and put it in a purse so you could snack at the movie theater. You see what I'm saying? You went to, and you probably went to Six Flags once a year, or probably once your whole childhood. And you bet not ask for no concession stand food. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about the 90s where you would have to sit in the car while your mama go shopping. She'd be gone for 2 hours and shit. And she said, and you bet not let down that window. You let down that window, somebody is going to kidnap your little ass and we won't find you. So kids was frightened and scared. We're talking about the 90s here. You understand me? Where, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you in a car with probably 3 of your siblings and y'all in there fighting and shit. You see what I'm saying? And y'all ain't let down the window. You know, kids is rough and it's musty. It stink. Listen, you ever been a kid? Y'all in there wrestling, playing basketball and shit. She come back and shit. She like, hey, it's stinking here. You understand what I'm saying? This is the 90s where people had to come together and survive. We're not talking about this new shit where in the 90s, we didn't have technology where you could see everybody. In the 90s, if you wanted to see somebody, you had to see them at school or on your neighborhood. Now you could pick up a phone and see anybody anywhere. This is why people don't be successful in marriage, relationships, because the internet have gave too much validation. You know, you see the most ugliest motherfucking women put on some makeup and shit, look like a whole nother person, put on some little thongs and shit and pop it in the mirror and get 10,000 views. And she talking about, oh, I want me a rich nigga. She can't even spell, read or write. You understand me? But long as she popping her pussy, she's going to get it. This is a big difference. So when we're looking at the 90s, man, what happened was nothing but extraordinary to some gangsters that had limited of access to things and had some shit happen. So this is really why I say Compton is on the map. Let's get into this reaction, guys. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you love your mama. For real. Let's go. All right.
Information, eyewitness accounts, and the cloud of conspiracy that shrouds these events. However, clarity remains elusive. Was it a spontaneous act of street violence or a calculated execution by hidden powers in the industry? And amidst all these theories, where does the role of the Southside Crips fit in? This video aims to shed light on these questions, offering a deep dive into the intricate web of connections, theories, and the underlying currents that marked one of the most tumultuous eras in hip-hop history. In the heart of Compton, a place synonymous with hip-hop legends, another kind of legend was taking form. The Southside Crips, a force that would come to dominate the streets.
Why switching to this made one restaurant owner an extra $450,000 in online sales.
Marked their territory with both fear and respect. To truly grasp the depth of their influence, one must venture back to the volatile 1970s. Compton's streets were already familiar with gang culture when the Southside Crips made their mark. But what set them apart? Their ruthless efficiency, territorial dominance, and uncanny ability to infiltrate different facets of society made them both respected and feared. They weren't just another gang. They were a meticulously structured organization. Shockingly, their reach wasn't confined to the streets. As hip-hop began its meteoric rise in the 1980s and 1990s, the lines between street life and the music industry started to blur. The Southside Crips, ever the opportunists, saw the potential. Music artists, often coming from the same streets and having faced similar struggles, found it hard to sever ties with their past, leading to an...
Okay, so let's stop there. When we look at this, you got to realize that the fact that it was they foreseen, you got to realize when we're dealing with where we live in America, where we are able to project things that's going to happen before it happened. You got to understand, it's no coincidence that Tupac died, and it's no coincidence that Biggie had to die. You got to realize at that, this was like when Bitcoin just went viral and all of these people start making millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? And you got to look at it. Tupac was killing the game. That his album sold more than anybody in the country. Go look at the stats. Nobody sold more than Tupac. Biggie was doing his thing. You see what I'm saying? And we knew that those execs was being hung by they were puppets. They were peons with money. You understand me? And them dudes would have did anything to solidify their position longevity. You see what I'm saying? So they knew. Both of those Suge had life insurance on Tupac. Diddy had life insurance on Biggie. You understand how crucial that is? Can you smelling what I'm selling? Look at that. You understand? The money that they cashed out, allegedly, make sure I'm, you know what I'm saying? Alleged. Puffy, when Biggie died, had to collect on that life insurance. First of all, when you're in the record business, you give this money to these artists, right? with understanding that they're going to make it back. So what do? They put life insurance on you just in case they can protect their investment. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you might have. Yeah, I signed him to 500,000. I haven't recouped my 500,000 yet. So every time 500,000, I'm taking you to flying you to Miami, to London, doing these tours. All of that costs money up front. You see what I'm saying? So of course, most artists remain broke until what the fuck was that? Fucking had a little gnat and shit. Hey, listen, you understand me? So yes, the way it's set up that if they give you money, they not gonna just with the hopes. They gotta put life insurance on you. Then people, oh, they scandalous. Oh man, they knew you was gonna die. No, people have a choice. You gotta understand. In the 90s, gang banging was at an all-time high. Gang banging, California is the mecca of gang culture. It spread it like a wildfire. You got to realize other states start mimicking what Californian gang culture represented. Everybody wanted a piece of it. Gang banging was like real estate. Everybody was calling their dibs. I'm blood, I'm cuz. People took gang banging like water to a fish. You smell what I'm saying? That's how crucial it is when you look at this. But within all of this, Compton made their own piece of the pie and put on for themselves. You understand? It's like the dope game. It's like magic. You see what I'm saying? You motherfucker put some baking soda with some cocaine and make some rocks and have a motherfucker twacked out their mind. And then you got people that be snorting that J-Lo, nigga, that Whitney Houston. You see what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers, you got to realize that Whitney Houston and that Bobby Brown, that boy and that girl, people was going crazy. Compton had that Bobby Brown. You see what I'm saying? For sure. Them East Coast niggas, we been doing the cocaine and shit, having birds and all that, shipping chickens across the Pacific. But the East Coast niggas, they had birds as well. They had that Whitney Houston. You know, we had that too. And we had that Bobby Brown. So the game was at an all-time high. This is dope. Guns. These niggas Mac 11s. Really jumping out, nigga, and knocking you down, running in the yard. Not some little young-ass nigga shooting from across the street and hit an old lady in the throat. You understand how crucial the 90s was? Okay, so this is why Compton is on the map. Let's go.
An intricate dance between gang life and stardom. One might wonder, with numerous gangs vying for control, how did the South Side Crips establish such dominance? Their strategic alliances, both within and outside the gang world, played a pivotal role. Merging street smarts with business acumen, they ventured into legitimate businesses, money laundering operations, and, as some theories suggest, into the very heart of the hip-hop industry. Intriguingly, the South Side Crips' reputation was a double-edged sword. On one hand, their name invoked fear, ensuring a certain level of power and control. On the other, it attracted attention, often unwanted, from law enforcement and rival gangs. As their influence grew, so did the target on their back. The evolution of the South Side Crips.
Dreaming of real estate income? Airbnb's your ticket to do it without having to own or rent a single.
Is a testament to their adaptability. From their inception, they have morphed, expanded, and entrenched themselves in various facets of society. Their story is not just one of power and dominance, but also survival against all odds. Tupac Amaru Shakur, a name that resonates with fans around the globe, wasn't just a rapper. He was an emblem of resistance, resilience, and raw talent. From his poetic verses to his impassioned activism, Tupac became the voice of a generation yearning for change. Admittedly, Pac's early life bore the scars of struggle. Born into a family with ties to the Black Panther Party, he was no stranger to systemic oppression and racial injustice. This backdrop, steeped in activism and resistance, would play a significant role in shaping Tupac's artistry and worldview. Moreover, as his star began to rise in the world of hip-hop, he was continually pulled in opposing directions. His music, rich with themes of struggle, love, and ambition, often juxtaposed with his real-world confrontations and legal troubles. This duality, the introspective artist against the world's provocateur, became a staple of Tupac's identity. However,
you got to realize every great leader died. You see what I'm saying? Tupac was not just a rapper. You couldn't put that boy in a box. That boy could act. That boy could rap. He went to like a Juilliard school or some shit. Like, you cannot just say, Tupac the rapper. That dude was a poet. That dude was a man. Look, he was somebody of an influence. And anytime you have somebody of that altitude who have an influence that can impact the world, not just Brenda Had a Baby, the way it was Picasso. The way he did that song was Picasso. The labels, the president was speaking on Tupac at that time. Like, his music is not tolerated. We do not condone that type of music. But Brenda Had a Baby was a real story. And all he did was rapped about it. And it was unprecedented at that time. You see what I'm saying? His impact would just imagine if Tupac was alive. The impact that he would have made on America, not just the African community, on America. People would have perceived him as brainwashing people. The influence that he had white girls want to get fucked. You understand me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He had all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think in one interview and shit, he said one of them, they motherfucking vagina smelled like hot dog water. Hey, no, he said, what was that lady name? He's like, she smelled like dog meat. The old one that be liking them young niggas. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker, yeah, fuck me harder right there. And he throw their little hair, yeah. What's that lady name? What? Yeah, the old school little white lady. You know what I'm saying? Look, she like them hood niggas. You know what I'm saying? Madonna. Ooh. Yeah, Madonna was like 90, trying to hit something. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, she smelled like hot dog water or some shit like dog meat or something. Some of that altitude, gang, and it was crazy. But listen, this is just what it is. The impact that Tupac made was of this world. You see what I'm saying? Now you got to kind of see it like, damn, they were going to, anybody that have a big influence over not just their community, but over the world, you're going to die. Michael Jackson died. Prince died. Anybody, I mean, when you look at this, there's health problems. Man, look, it's no coincidence, gang. Let's be clear. It's no coincidence. Let's go. Baloney. And a little bit smell like baloney, man. You know, little Karen don't be caring about her hair. Motherfucker go out with Karen and Karen hair ain't been did in 2 months. She be over there scratching and shit, little flakes and lights flying everywhere. You know, hey man, something eating at my chest. And every time and shit, she's like, "Oh, do you have to use a condom? I want to feel all of you." You know, the little white girls don't want to use no condom. Like, man, I can't get no white girl pregnant. Go home to my mama. My mama stay in the projects. Unless you're willing to eat pork and beans and hot dogs. Let me give you a test. What if it's Thanksgiving? You know what I'm saying? My mama, she don't play. Nigga, she cooked them chitlins. You gotta eat. She said, are you talking about pig intestine? Yeah, bitch. That's what your daddy's daddy fed us for holidays. We got the scraps of the pig back in those days. You know, our grandma, she was 12 years old, married to a nigga that was 30. In today's society, hey, you 30 years old talking to a 12-year-old, you go to jail. Bye-bye. Motherfucker be a grown man in the cornfield and shit. Nigga be 30 years old, nigga in the cornfield, nigga picking cotton and shit, and she's 12 and shit. Nigga, you 6'3", and her ass is only 3'11". Big ass grown ass men having sex with that kid. You understand me? In those days, that's what it was. Appreciate the super chat, Nina. Can I get you on some? Oh man, come on, buddy. Live life. I'm gonna give you some strong advice. Don't make yourself look crazy. There you go. Wow. All right. Yeah, let me get back to my thing, man. You know, some of these dudes out here, man, be clowning and shit, Tony. You know them Tonys and Tonys in them, man. Them niggas, boy, be them fun boys. You understand me? To be them niggas, everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah, mother, I know you get him. Anyway, let's get back into this reaction, gang. Y'all know how we coming, man. Y'all know we on fire with this, man. Let's get it.
However, beyond the music and the controversies lay the rapper's complex web of associations. His relationships, alliances, and conflicts were not just confined to the music industry. The world of street politics, particularly the simmering East Coast versus West Coast rivalry, began to weave its way into Tupac's narrative. This was a world where lines were often blurred, where friendships could turn to enmities overnight, and where loyalty was both an asset and a liability. Interestingly, Tupac's association with Death Row Records
Is there a hidden camera spying on you right now?
When I say
further intensified these complexities. The label, helmed by the enigmatic Suge Knight, was no stranger to controversy. Allegations of strong-arm tactics, street gang affiliations, and violent confrontations became synonymous with Death Row's reputation. In this volatile environment, Tupac found both unparalleled success and increasing peril. It is here that the Southside Crips enter the equation. Rumors and whispered accounts suggest that the gang had various interactions with figures associated with Death Row. While some narratives hint at professional relationships, others suggest territorial disputes and personal vendettas. And then there was the event at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, a confrontation that many believe acted as the prelude to Tupac's tragic end. Shockingly, within this intricate tapestry of relationships, events, and decisions lay clues that many believe point to the culprits behind Tupac's fatal shooting. While theories abound, the consistent presence of the Southside Crips in these accounts is undeniable. Because of that, to truly understand the gravity of Tupac's final moments and the events leading up to it, one must delve deep into the underbelly of the music industry, street politics, and the shadowy figures that straddle both worlds. Compton, California, a city notorious for its history of gang violence and criminal underpinnings. Amidst its streets, stories of rivalry, loyalty, and vengeance have birthed legends. And amongst these tales, the saga of the Southside Crips stands out. The Southside Crips, one of Compton's most infamous street gangs, have carved out.
Man, when you look at this shit, bro, back in those days, you had kids that was already, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I was 12 years old when I had 6ix9ine on my arms. You understand how I'm saying? Listen, and you see it in the movies. Nigga, he said, I ain't from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. nigga, we was kids. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people got to realize that this was going on way before this, man, when you look at it, when you go down the rabbit hole, you can see exactly that they was never going to let Tupac and Biggie be those type. They were selling big numbers, doing big numbers. These dudes wanted to break away and start their own labels and shit like that, artists owning shit. Then where the white people gonna go if they start owning the major big master labels? They set us back. You see what I'm saying? When they killed Tupac, well, you know, they used us to do it. But I honestly believe that this had to be higher than just some gang shit. You mean to tell me Tupac, you got to realize, allegedly, Trayvon Lane told Tupac, hey, get that nigga Pac, because that wasn't even Tupac's beef. Tupac was not at the mall when Orlando Anderson and them caught Trayvon Lane at that Lakewood Mall. He was not there. This was gangbang shit. You understand what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me that he got killed over some gangbang shit? Nah, it didn't go like that. Man, you open up Pandora's box, it's going to start looking like, hold on, this ain't just no bullshit. This ain't no just some blood and Crip shit. The way this shit went down, it went down on a whole nother level. You understand what I'm saying? These dudes died at a very young age, and they died back to back. It's without a doubt that this was way bigger than just some blood and Tupac was not a real gangbanger. He was from East. Well, they say he was from my PIRU. Well, you know, I think they said Bunchy and Trayvon Lane and them was like, yeah, you know, Tupac mob. You know what I'm saying? But Tupac had Crip friends as well. You see what I'm saying? But you know, the nigga got MOB on his body. And when you seen Pac and shit, he be like, yeah, what's up now? West Side, nigga. West Side for life. Nigga, you got Pac screaming out West Side. How crazy is that? You understand what I'm saying? How cold this game is? Man, listen, this rabbit hole is serious. This shit is real. You see what I'm saying? It is very real. And, you know, I get people hating, oh, man, why you talking about that shit, man? The same way a nigga be in jail talking about, hey, what you in here for? Oh, nigga, they gonna give you 2 years, man. This is just commentary. This is not something, my original content. This is what I do. I give commentary. If you don't like that shit, don't be, oh, that nigga NINABOY. Yeah, nigga talking about, nah, nigga. If I put myself in their shoes. I'm one of them people, like, if I went to jail, I would know exactly how to think. I'm not somebody that's not going to look up what crimes I committed and all that. I know my constitutional rights, my Miranda rights. These are things that I say the average gangbanger should know. This should be taught in different hoods. Hey, this is your rights if this ever happened. It should be a manual where you can show somebody, listen, so that way you'll understand the crime and the amount of time will be able to tell you, my nigga, hold on, I might not be with that right there. That's nigga 180 years. Oh no, my kids, I ain't gonna never see them. So you understand what I'm saying? So on some real shit. So this is how I look at this shit. And when I see this shit, I said, wow, Compton put it down. Compton was one of those cities. Compton is not a big city. You got to realize it was white people in Compton before the blacks. You see what I'm saying? So just the whole, it's so much when you look at Compton. And there's so many other hoods that's riders. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we just talking about what took place between Pac and Biggie. But Compton, in its own right, got some riders in Compton. You can't, nigga, what you cannot, nigga, the hub, the dub, all that, nigga, Long Beach, San Bernardino, all these cities got riders, got killers, got real niggas, and people that's willing to sacrifice. You got people that's willing to go do 100 years behind, you know, some of this shit that like this, behind a record label. You see what I'm saying? It was niggas that was willing to do time, nigga, Death Row Records for life, nigga. Nigga, give me 100 years. I believe in Death Row Records. You see what I'm saying? So you understand me? So man, y'all pay attention to this, man. It's some good shit come, man. Look, it's some good game, man. Let's go.
Out a legacy that's both feared and revered, born out of societal neglect, systemic discrimination, and an insatiable desire for respect. The gang's influence.
This simple line of code can increase your ad sales by 50 to 100% instantly. No changes in your business.
Permeated not just the streets of Compton, but also the corridors of the music industry. Their origins can be traced back to the turbulent 1970s, a time when racial tensions and police aggression were at an all-time high. The gang, like many others of that era, started as a protective force for African-American neighborhoods against external threats. However, over time, the dynamics evolved. Turf wars, drug trafficking, and internal power struggles transformed the South Side Crips into a force to be reckoned with. Their influence wasn't just limited to street politics. Intriguingly, the worlds of hip-hop and gang culture began to intertwine in the 90s. As rappers sought authenticity in their lyrics and personas, many turned to the streets, forging alliances or simply paying homage to the gangs they grew up around. The intertwining of these worlds wasn't without its consequences. Rappers, in their quest for street credibility, sometimes found themselves ensnared in real-world gang disputes. Similarly, gang members saw the lucrative music industry as an opportunity, a means to elevate their status, wealth, and influence. On top of that, as hip-hop's commercial success grew, so did the stakes. Rivalries that once played out in lyrical battles now had the potential to spill into violent confrontations. This was an era where territorial pride, personal vendettas, and business interests often became indistinguishable. The Southside Crips were no exception to this phenomenon. Their alleged associations with various figures in the music industry brought them both money and notoriety, yet it also embroiled them in feuds that transcended the boundaries of Compton. One such association was the rumored connection between the gang and New York-based record label Bad Boy Records. The implications of such an association were immense. Bad Boy Records, helmed by Sean Diddy Combs, was at the epicenter of the East Coast rap scene and had its own set of controversies and conflicts, most notably with Death Row Records and its star artist, Tupac. It was the 90s, and hip-hop was no longer just a subculture.
I hope y'all caught on to that. I know y'all see all of them, but let's be clear, nigga. MC Hammer was signed to Death Row. He had Mob on him. MC Hammer, can't touch this. Remember back in the 90s where that shit was so cool, where niggas actually, man, give me them big ass balloon pins. I wanna do it. Remember when we used to, we're talking about the 90s. When I say the 90s, I'm talking about the box. Cable did not exist. It was dial up. We had to call that number. Yeah, we want to watch Bobby Brown. And remember, niggas was getting their ass whooped over them credit cards. Nigga, you motherfucking ordered a music video and shit. Nigga, that was once every 6 months. Nigga, back in the day, in the 90s, it was not illegal for your mother, your auntie, or shit, even your neighbor, if you fucked up, put their motherfucking hands on you. Or you know how that motherfucker do it. Motherfucker like, come here, put your hand out. And smack the shit out that motherfucking hand. That's why niggas got, that's how when niggas be choking these bitches out, it be strong and shit, because a nigga think about what his grandma did to him. Nigga, he didn't want to cry. Remember back in the day, you wanted to show grandma you was a man? Her ass be like, you like, oh, you think you grown up? Oh, you a big boy? All right, motherfucker. You know, you understand me? To that motherfucker grandma nigga, she cocked back that arm and jumped. And they go, ah! Oh, fuck you, nigga. I was getting beat the fuck down. I cannot lie. I was getting motherfucking abused. And it's not funny, but I was literally getting abused. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about, nigga, motherfucker put Vaseline in my head and send me to school and blood gushing out. I needed stitches. You see what I'm saying? They were like, oh my God, where's his mother? It ain't no mother. It was gangbanging. It was killers and gorillas, lions, tigers, and bears for me. That's the world I grew up in. You understand me? In those days, in the 90s, you better been with it. Because if you wasn't with it, niggas was beating your ass until you got your mind right. You see what I'm saying? So the 90s wasn't no joke, man. This is, nigga, this rabbit hole right here, it go the long way. Let's go.
Culture. It was mainstream, a global phenomenon. And with its rise, two coasts, East and West, began vying for the crown. This competition was not solely based on artistry or sales. It was deeply personal. The rivalry between Bad Boy Records from the East and Death Row Records from the West was its most emblematic representation. Interestingly, Sean Diddy Combs and his prodigious artist, the notorious B.I.G., were leading the East Coast wave with their label, Bad Boy Records. Their lavish music videos, catchy hooks, and commercial success made them the darlings of the media. Yet beneath the surface of their glamorous image lay whispers of dark alliances and dangerous liaisons. Over on the West Coast, Death Row Records, led by Suge Knight and his premier artist, Tupac Shakur, were making waves of their own. Known for their raw lyrics, aggressive posturing, and unabashed criticisms, they wore their street cred on their sleeves. The rivalry was further intensified by a series of events, starting with the shooting of Tupac in 1994.
Woo, hey, I'm sorry, man. Hey, you know, Uncle Nephew gotta come in. Ooh, man, ooh, man, you know, that was that real pussy. They had grown pussy back then. They had a little fur burger. You understand me? Yeah. That little bitch, she had a little fur on that motherfucker, had a little hair on it. Not the little motherfucking bald head pussy and shit like that, nigga. It's okay to leave some at the top of something, make it, do a little design and shit. You know what I mean? Put a 9 or a Nina in that motherfucker. Like, yeah, bitch, I see it. Yeah. You understand me? The panties were different. You see what I'm saying? Nowadays, nigga, they got panties and shit that be giving these bitches yeast infections. Yeah, nigga, you go and throw your clothes in the closet and shit. Then you just happen to see the lights on. She wore some white panties that day, and it's a little mellow yellow stain in her. Man, you know you women be hey. I don't want to hear that. Every woman that had a bad day or two. You understand me? Shit, it's just fuck with a nigga like me. Nigga, hey, you have a motherfucking bad day and you know the panties, you better wash the motherfuckers out. Or if I come in that closet, you throw the motherfuckers. Get the motherfuckers out of here. Be like, hey, how can I help you? You do not let a man like me see that. Because I will make you feel every bit of what I seen in your drawers. I'm not nothing to play with. I'm a great friend, but I'm not friendly. When it comes to stuff like that, I will assassinate your character. I bet. Hey, this is me talking to y'all. This real. Hey, listen. Even if you're on your menstrual cycle, I bet not seen a little slinky string coming out your panties and shit. You walking around in your panties and your little tampon string hanging out your panties and shit. Houston, we have a problem. We have a real problem. I don't fuck around. You understand me? Yeah. Because, you know, some of y'all I don't get comfortable with y'all. Y'all better not get comfortable with me. And if you having that time of the week, you put that shit in a black bag and you throw that shit across the street. Ooh, that sounded good. NINABOY might need to be rapping. I told you, nigga, I might be coming back. All right, my bad. I just need to just do my own show because I be fucking up these reactions. Niggas be like, hey, man, you funny, but, man, we want to hear the story, man. And don't bring your ass over here. This is my motherfucking show. You don't have to be here. Get your ass up out of here. All right, let's go.
Outside Quad Studios in New York, Tupac, recovering from his injuries, began pointing fingers at Biggie, Diddy, and their entourage, claiming they had prior knowledge of the attack. This accusation became the spark that ignited one of the most infamous beefs in hip-hop history, with diss tracks, media interviews, and
here's how to make over 100 ad creatives in just minutes by using artificial intelligence. First things first.
Public confrontations. The animosity between the two camps grew. This feud was more than just lyrical. It was deeply rooted in real-life events and affiliations. This is where the Southside CRIPS came into the picture. Shockingly, amidst the backdrop of this rivalry, allegations began to emerge that connected Bad Boy Records with the Southside CRIPS. Rumors spread that the New York-based label had hired the Compton gang for security during their West Coast visits. But more sinister were the whispers that the gang had been contracted to orchestrate hits on rival artists. This complex web of affiliations and accusations further muddied the waters when, in 1996, Tupac was gunned down in Las Vegas. Immediately, speculations ran rife. Was this the culmination of the East-West beef? Were the Southside CRIPS, allegedly in the employ of Bad Boy Records, responsible for the hit on Tupac? Just 6 months after Tupac's death, the East Coast's very own, the notorious BIGGIE, was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. This tragic event only added more fuel to the speculative fire. Could it have been a retaliation from the West, or was it, as...
You gotta understand, y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? Think about it. We have 2 East Coast rappers. Think about it. It's not rocket science. You have Biggie from the East Coast. You have Tupac from the East Coast. 2 East Coast rappers assassinated months after each other. You understand me? You see how big this is? Think, man, it's when you go down this rabbit hole, bro, this shit is for real. You get to understand and see the masses. You got to understand also how long nobody stays at the top forever. You understand what I'm saying? Eventually, listen, that's why I tell people all the time. People that try to fake that shit, they can only fake it for so long. You see what I'm saying? Eventually, they will be exposed. Diddy is being exposed for being somebody who like chili on his hot dog. And allegations, he didn't take no legal action. He's letting people keep on with these rumors, right? This is somebody who, or people are starting to testify. He's somebody who scammed people out of millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? He's somebody who made an R&B group walk 6 blocks to get him a cheesecake and back. To show you got people that's breaking the Masonic order. When I say that, it get a little goosebumps in here, like, oh, that nigga, he know what's up. Yeah, I know what's up. You see what I'm saying? It's people that's breaking the Masonic order to go against Diddy at this point. So understand how real this is. Let's go.
As some believe, an inside job. The Southside Crips' alleged involvement didn't just stop at Tupac. Rumors persisted that they were also connected to Biggie's murder. The fact that both these iconic rappers were killed in drive-by shootings in eerily similar circumstances further deepened the mystery. As the investigations into their deaths progressed, the Southside Crips' involvement became a focal point. But concrete evidence was elusive. With multiple theories and potential suspects, the truth seemed to slip further away. In the wake of Tupac and Biggie's untimely deaths, the rap community, media, and fans were left in shock. But amidst the grief, a fervor to uncover the truth began. Investigations were initiated, and the realm of hip-hop was under scrutiny as law enforcement agencies delved deep into the murky world of gang affiliations, industry rivalries, and street vendettas. However, uncovering the truth was not straightforward. Both murders had an eerie similarity: drive-by shootings, significant artists targeted, and a lack of witnesses willing to step forward. It was as if the streets had its code of silence, and no one dared break it. The Las Vegas Police Department, which was in charge of Tupac's case, faced several hurdles. The chaotic scene on the night of Tupac's shooting meant that vital evidence might have been overlooked. Moreover, witnesses were scarce. Many in Tupac's entourage were unwilling to cooperate, potentially due to fear of retaliation or adhering to the unwritten laws of the streets. On the East Coast, the Los Angeles Police Department faced similar challenges with Biggie's case. Like Tupac's murder, there were few leads and even fewer witnesses. The intense media spotlight and pressure from the public meant they were racing against time.
How was that possible? It was no leads. Listen, the ballistics show Tupac was shot with a 40 caliber, right? And some be like, oh, it's a 4.5. No, it was a 40 caliber. I know a lot of y'all be want to argue and all that shit, but clearly you guys ain't looking in the right places. A lot of people say a lot of things, and it's up to you to really see through limo tent. Now, they had the gun. The gun was in their possession. It was booking evidence, and all of a sudden it disappeared. You got to realize you had Compton PD working on the case, you had LAPD working on the case, and it happened in Las Vegas. Come on, man. These is police officers. How do a gun go missing out of evidence? And the same gun that was in the evidence, the ballistic shows that was the same gun that killed Tupac. Yeah, I know. Let's go.
But the breakthrough they hoped for seemed elusive. Interestingly, as the investigations hit dead ends, multiple theories began to emerge. The most predominant among them was the East-West rivalry theory. This line of thought suggested that Tupac's murder was a direct result of his beef with Biggie and Bad Boy Records. Biggie's subsequent death was seen as retaliation from the West Coast, ensuring the score was settled. Yet, another theory pointed directly at the Southside Crips. As previously mentioned, rumors persisted that the Crips had been hired by Bad.
I'm very nervous. I'm gonna start.
You're gonna start? I'm an editor, and today we're gonna have a
Boy Records for protection during their West Coast trips. Taking this a step further, some believed they were contracted to eliminate Tupac. Shockingly, supporting this theory was an account from a Crips member who...
Ooh, look at that, man. Ooh, boy, dude. Hey, let me be out, man. The times have changed, because honest to God, coming up and shit, nigga couldn't wear this shit. You see, the only time we would wear this shit unless we was going in that neighborhood and we didn't want to ring no alarms that we was going to go put it down. That's the only time we wore certain colors. But in today's society, it doesn't exist no more, and times have changed. But back then, nigga, hey, we was wearing big dickies and starter jackets, and Nigga, I had Nike Cortez. I had a nigga with a beeper. Nigga be over there at the phone booth with a roll of quarters. You understand me? Trying to call somebody. You understand me? So, yeah, man, times have changed tremendously. You know, but when we look at this, gang banging was at an all-time high. It was, nigga, you live and die this shit. Yes, that mean, nigga, you gang bang. It wasn't no, oh, I work at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And you know, nothing wrong with it, for the record. But what I'm saying was gang banging was a full-time thing. It was a full-time structure. It wasn't all of that shit, nigga. Especially if you was a kid and shit. Nigga, you ain't in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's 100 of it. Man, listen, niggas had to bang for real. You know what I'm saying? Compton. This goes back to Compton. You have to understand how crucial what this means to the history of what majority of us come from. Poverty. You understand me? What this means when it comes to gang culture. You see what I'm saying? Two of the biggest rappers in the world was killed by members of Compton, the city of Compton. You see what I'm saying? That's history within its own rights. Cannot deny that. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Alleged that a bounty had been placed on Tupac. The night Tupac was shot in Las Vegas, he had been involved in a scuffle with a member of the South Side Crips. Could this have been the trigger? Yet for every theory, there was a counter theory. Some speculated that both Tupac and Biggie's deaths were orchestrated by insiders from their own camps. Financial gains, power struggles, and personal vendettas were cited as potential motives. Additionally, some believed law enforcement agencies, particularly the FBI, played a role in both deaths. These theories pointed to the FBI's documented surveillance of rap artists and their alleged desire to quell what they perceived as a dangerous and influential movement. As the years went by, with no significant arrests or convictions, the investigations grew cold. Yet the quest for truth never waned. Both sets of fans, the media, and even fellow artists continually demanded answers. Numerous documentaries, books, and articles have been produced, each trying to shed light on the mysteries. The silence left behind by Tupac and Biggie's deaths reverberated across the world, creating a void that was felt deeply within the hip-hop community. The immediate aftermath was a mixture of disbelief, sorrow, and introspection. Two luminaries of the rap world, voices of their generation, had been silenced, leading many to contemplate the direction hip-hop was heading. Interestingly, the deaths of Tupac and Biggie compelled artists, producers, and executives alike to rethink their approach to music and the messages they sent out. The genre had always been a reflection of street life, societal issues, and personal experiences, but with two of its brightest stars gone, there was an undeniable call for change. Moreover, many rappers began to speak out against violence, urging their peers to put aside their differences and focus on uplifting their communities. There was a noticeable shift towards collaboration, with artists from the East and West Coasts coming together to produce tracks that emphasized unity. Commercially, the legacy of Tupac...
And look, you understand what they're trying to... Look at the game. Think about it. We could rap about killing each other all day long. We could talk about how niggas is sticking their dick down a bitch's throat and make her choke. Niggas could be talking all that shit. But let you talk about hurting an animal. You understand that shit would get no play. You talking about you go put some animal and make it Chinese food or some shit. Somebody might take that offensive and specifically say, oh, you're going to jail. That is a hate crime on animals. You see what I'm saying? You cannot do things of that nature. That's how cold it is. We could talk about killing each other, but let you talk about harming an animal, period. Let you talk about having sex with an animal. You know what I'm saying? Niggas see that little pony over there. And you know what I'm saying? No, man, that little female pony over there, man. You know what I'm saying, man? My brain telling me to stuff her. It will be a problem. You talking about when you want to kill your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your brother, any of that thing, fine. Let's make millions of dollars doing it. But the moment you say you want to hurt something of an animal, now you're in violation. You would never get no airplay on saying, oh, I don't want to verbally say it. I don't want nobody to take offense because some people be sensitive. My commentary be too strong for them. And I don't understand because I said, let me just be as real blunt as possible. And I still get people that put paint where it ain't and act as if like, you know, oh, you're saying offense. I don't mean to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is a disclaimer right now. You understand me? So y'all, YouTube world, y'all can see the video. I'm telling y'all what it is from my point of view. That's it. That's all. But once again, if you was a rapper and you want to hurt somebody and you want to talk about it, you talk about shooting a police officer or something like that. Some of that shit might even go through some stuff, knowing that that's the wrong thing to do. But the moment you talk about hurting an animal, let you talk about you go do something to a cat. Ooh, it is billions of people who love cats. Let you talk about a dog. Nowadays, dogs are treated like humans. They have pushing carts, beds, all that shit. Back in the day, niggas had dogs. They was outside. Nigga with a little bowl of water, with a little kibbles and bits, and that was it. You see what I'm saying? Nowadays and shit, you motherfuckers feeding dogs full pigs. You know how much a full pig costs to buy itself? $300-$500. You got 4 dogs, rock around it. They eating an actual pig and shit. Hey, come on. You think I'm gonna trust that? Nigga, I just seen it. Nigga, he ate that. Nigga, the way he ate that pig ass, he didn't go for the stomach. That dog ran over there and ate the pig's asshole wide open. He didn't ate through the ass, through the chitlins. Dookie is all in that motherfucker. He didn't ate all of that shit. So yeah, once again, you and to me, when you see them dogs eat them real pigs and stuff, that is like an apex predator to me. It's no way I would be living with a dog that I see, nigga, he eating everything inside the pig right up. Like my dog better have processed food. Like I don't want to see my dog eat the pig's dick. You understand me? Motherfucker, pig got big ass balls and shit. He run and eat the balls. Get the fuck up out. I don't want to see that. You see what I'm saying? But once again, let somebody talk about hurting a bird or here, kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, you're going to jail. If you put it on wax, on a record, you're going to jail. That's how I say this is how cold the government is. You can talk about hurting each other and all that. This is why I say Pac was one of them people saying things like this. We got money for war, but can't feed the poor. That made a big impact. The words that he said was so heroic to people. They like, wow, the way he combined these words and formulated into art. People went like, wow, he was a conflict of interest. You see what I'm saying? You got somebody who's selling millions of records that's making statements like that, and millions of people see the impact. Oh, no, we can't have that. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Man, this shit, look at these two. They was kids. They were young. Pac and Big was young. They lost their life when they were young. So why you think everybody on that bullshit now? The niggas ain't talk that positive shit.
And Biggie continued to grow. Posthumous albums, compilations, and unreleased tracks from both artists topped the charts. Their lyrics, now more poignant than ever, resonated with fans who saw them as martyrs of the movement. Admittedly, the void they left also paved the way for a new generation of rappers. Artists like Jay-Z, Eminem, and Nas, who had already begun making a name for themselves, saw their careers skyrocket in the late 90s and early 2000s. Their styles, while distinct, bore the influence of Tupac and Biggie, ensuring that the legacy of the two legends lived on. Furthermore, the deaths of Tupac and Biggie sparked a wave of activism within the hip-hop community. Rallying cries for social justice, equity, and reforms became central themes in many tracks. Rappers began using their platforms not just to entertain, but to educate, advocate, and mobilize. Beyond music, the impact of Tupac and Biggie's deaths was felt in other realms of entertainment. Hollywood began producing movies that delved into the lives of rappers, exploring the challenges they faced, their rise to fame, and the dangers that lurked in the shadows. Films like 8 Mile and Get Rich or Die Tryin' showcased the grittier side of the
digital agencies. Listen up. Duda introduces the power of
the industry, echoing the experiences of Tupac and Biggie. Moreover, their stories became the subjects of numerous documentaries and biopics.
Let me ask y'all something. Look at the history, look at the course of time. How many rappers you know got movies and documentaries behind them? Now, let's keep it real. How many people do you know that comes from California that actually have a movie or a documentary about them? The impact that they created was man, you can't, it's no ceilings. It's no ceilings when you look at the perspective of what these young men have accomplished in the 90s. These dudes were making millions over millions, hand over fist, and none of them was able to enjoy their money. So when you look at the music nowadays, don't nobody want to talk that positive shit. That shit will get you killed. So what we do, we reform and say, yes, sir, boss. We talk about killing each other. Yeah, we call each other busters, marks, and weirdos and dum-dums. We'll kick each other down to lift ourselves up and may the best man win. You got to live. Understand, every day you leave your house is a dogfight, right? Every day you're going to stress when you're trying to fight towards getting towards greatness. We know if you didn't stress, then you know you would have been gave up and you wouldn't have to stress. So if you're stressing, those are indicators that it's a good thing. Why? Because nothing bad lasts forever. With that being said, let's get back to this convo, man. Yeah, man. Y'all check. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, man. Y'all see it's lit over here. Y'all know it. Yeah.
Notorious, which chronicled Biggie's life, and All Eyes on Me, a biographical film about Tupac, brought their stories to the big screen, ensuring that their legacies were immortalized for future generations. But while the world remembered Tupac and Biggie for their artistry, their families and close friends grappled with their personal loss. Interviews with those close to them painted a picture of two young men, talented beyond their years, with dreams, aspirations, and a love for their craft. They were not just rappers, but sons, fathers, and friends. Their tales, intertwined with talent, rivalry, and tragedy, have formed the bedrock of a genre that has seen both immense growth and intense introspection in the years following their deaths. The streets of Compton and the corridors of New York bear silent witness to their genius and their loss. The South Side Compton CRIPS, often cited in hushed rumors and whispered theories, find themselves at the nexus of these stories, their influence pervasive, their actions questioned. Shockingly, despite the numerous investigations, documentaries, and testimonies, the curtains have yet to be fully drawn on the circuit.
Man, and look at that right there. You understand me? The police were beating on you with that billy club stick. Niggas wasn't going filing reports and actually getting justice. You know how many people got beat so you motherfuckers can have your rights and all that shit? Some of y'all done got beat by the police and won hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? Back in them days, shit, them niggas wasn't getting all that time. When motherfuckers get a nigga a motherfucking $500 and a motherfucking coupon to motherfucking Sizzlers for a whole year. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my family ate good for a whole year though, man. Your little $500 wasn't bad, man. Nigga only knocked my eye to the other side. All right, with that being said, y'all, I want to thank y'all tremendously for really pulling up, man. Like I say, I appreciate everybody here because you could be anywhere, but y'all over here thugging with me. So thank y'all, man. And I'll see y'all on the next video, man. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're doing dope, you know what I'm saying, content over here. And yeah, I come fuck with the logo, man. We doing some good shit. I'll see y'all on the next one, gang.